Mattie was 6 years old, and we were headed to the thrift store to get some back-to-school clothes or something. And I looked at the ground, he looked at the ground, we both saw this nickel just shining up from the ground. And Mattie said, "A nickel." And I said, "It must be your lucky day." And he said, "It must be someone else's unlucky day because they've lost money." So he insisted on taking this nickel to the store manager, telling the manager, "I found this sum of money. Somebody must be looking for it." And the guy looks and says, "A nickel?" He said, "What can you get nowadays for a nickel?" And Mattie looked him straight in the eye without missing a beat and said, "A gift." And the man said, "Then take this nickel and go find yourself a gift," which even in this store, it's not going to be much. Okay? So Mattie, you know, he loved Legos, he loved art supplies, he loved stuffed animals. Books were sacred to Mattie. So he went straight to the book section, and almost every book for 5 cents was a little kiddie book. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he saw a book that said, "Meet Oprah Winfrey, a self-made woman of many talents." So he picks it up and it says, "How did a little girl rise up out of the ashes of poverty and help women and children today?" And he looked at it and he opened the cover, and handwritten was 5 cents.
Wow.
He read that book between the thrift store and home.
Yeah.
And said, "God said into my heart that he put Oprah Winfrey and Mattie Stepanek on earth to share a few years because we're part of each other's reason for being."
And this is before I met him.
This is before you met him. He didn't even know about the Oprah show. He's 6. Most 6-year-olds don't watch the Oprah show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that. He's such an incredible, I mean, I call him a prophet. And in the June issue of O Magazine, which is dedicated to the show, I printed his email to me about ending the show. You all know that I was going to end the show in the 20th year. And Mattie sent me an email saying, "I know you're planning to retire your show on its 20th anniversary. It is my opinion that you should wait." To stop your daytime show on its 25th anniversary, and let me explain why. And he ends the email saying, "I'll let you think on it. And of course, it's only my opinion, but sometimes I get feelings about things, and I have one about this. I think it's good for the world and good for you." And that was a single force for me. And I went, whoa, whoa. The little prophet boy says,
And
it's
wasn't
25.
He right?
Yes, and
wasn't
he was right. He was right.
right.
And for all those reasons. There comes along in a lifetime, and certainly in my lifetime, an angel, and you know it. And there's no question that Mattie was an incarnated, in the flesh, human being angel. He was wise beyond his years. He was prophetic and profound, and he was the light. He just was.
When I die, I want to be a child in heaven. I want to be a 10-year-old cherub. I want to be a hero in heaven and a peacemaker, just like my goal on earth.
It was a hero's burial. The streets of Wheaton, Maryland were lined with Mattie's fans. Over 1,000 admirers, including former President Jimmy Carter, filled the church to celebrate one of the rarest little beings who ever walked the earth.
And we have known kings and queens. We've known presidents and prime ministers. But the most extraordinary person whom I have ever known in my life is Mattie Stepanek.
I found him to be magical. I could not believe so much wisdom, so much power, so much grace, so much strength and love could come from one 10-year-old little boy. His little coffin, and it's really hard to see a little coffin, was carefully guarded by a brigade of firefighters, each one a pal of Mattie's. An honor guard stood at attention. Mattie, the peacemaker, was finally at peace, and we all wept, only because we're gonna miss him so much. There was no braver soul, nor bigger spirit, in so small and frail a body. Goodbye, my guy.
The relationship between India and Pakistan is one that has seen a lot of lows.
It's stressful, it's tense.
It seems it's not improving and it's getting worse.
It's only been 60 years that we have been apart. Before that, we were living harmoniously together.
I think all the strife would go away if you took away the barbed wires in the middle of the two countries.
It saddens me that we have this neighbor that we can't even go visit.
They have this perception which they've been ingrained in their heads that that's the bad guy. But when they actually meet them, they realize, you know what, he's just like me.
Mainly because there's no communication. They're near us, but we have no access to them. And it's sad, because together I think we would do wonders.
The whole idea of actually touching hands, it's like communicating with each other without words, and that action speaks louder than anything else.
This is what we are supposed to do, right? We are going to take minor steps so that we are going to solve bigger issues.
It is more about, how similar we are as opposed to how different we are.
Togetherness, humanity, this is what we want. More and more exchange.